What's up, Backbreaker Nation? One of the Backbreaker brothers. This is more about not the pros and cons of Backbreaker, just basically evolving Backbreaker, making it better than what it is now. I understand the patch to fix some things and stuff like that, but these are just this is not really a wish list. This is what will improve the gameplay. Because, like I said in my first video, I care more about gameplay more than anything else. I don't care if the men we play on carpet and the men like blocks. If Backbreaker played the way it does, and I had block characters, I would still play it. That's the tight thing about Backbreaker. But anyway, unscripted gameplay anyway, all that other stuff. You know, first video covered all that. But anyway, let's go on to the first thing is physics. The physics is great. I mean, the first football game to implement physics in the game, real-time physics, this is excellent. But there's some things that you just need to tweak a little bit. Arm tackling need to be dwindled down a little bit. I understand the person not getting away, but at the same time, sometimes people are like Superman with the arm tackling. Y'all need to tweak that a little bit or dumb it down a little bit. Another thing, as far as physics aspect, real-time ball physics, definitely. If y'all had that, sometimes when you fumble and there's a big old huddle around the ball because people are trying to get to the ball, there's commotion going on, sometimes if the real-time ball fixes were implemented, the ball would be everywhere, and that's being true to the game. I never thought I would say that as far as being Backbreaker, but Backbreaker as far as football is true to the game. But anyway, let's keep on going. Another thing, blocking, as far as the physical aspect, blocking for the run. It needs to be a little more tighter. Sometimes the defensive line come through the offensive line. They need to tweak that a little bit. The blocking when it's done right is excellent. And sometimes I understand one person getting through when a defender fights off the blocker, the offensive lineman, and he gets through. That's one thing. But sometimes they just run through because the AI need to be tweaked on the blocking as far as the offensive line. When it's done right, it's excellent. When it's not, sometimes it's terrible. I got to be, like I said, I got to be honest and true to the game of Backbreaker. Another thing you should be able to do, as far as, I love the fact that how you able to do everything as a user as far as stiff arming and everything. But if I look like I'm about to run into the blocker, there should be a button I can press where I can stiff arm either left or the right, or just push off of them to do that. I understand instinctively y'all made it to where the game automatically does that. But if you can make it like that to where I can stiff arm and move to left or right, or just jump off of them, that'd be great too. Another thing as far as blocking, y'all need to implement blindside blocking. Like I said, anything that I request and it messes with gameplay, the gameplay aspects of Backbreaker being the way it is, I don't want it. Because I'm big on that. Most gamers are big on that. The blind side on the block. I mean, when you run in real football and you're focused on the player and somebody just straight annihilates you from your blind side, implement that, I'll probably pass on the floor or faint. I mean, if y'all put that in the game. Another thing, as far as blocking, a lot of things that Backbreaker has need to be implemented that they already have in the game, just need to be put in other aspects of the game. Like if you look as far as blocking, when you punt the ball off to your defender for them to run back the ball, their interactions as far as the cornerback and the wide receiver, just both cornerbacks, as far as their interaction from the kicking team to the receiving team is excellent. They always need to take that and put that sometimes either in, because you can see how the person fights off the defender. That's what I love about that. If y'all can implement that more in the O-line and even the D-line, if y'all can implement that as far as that and on the bump and run as far as the wide receiver and the cornerback, that would be excellent. Y'all have that sometimes. Y'all have put that in the game, but sometimes the interaction is not as good as when you punt the ball and interactions between the offensive player and the defensive player. But if you look at that when you kick off a ball, y'all fans will see what I'm talking about. Another thing, different physical aspects of the game, y'all definitely need a left arm passer and a left leg kicker. And as far as you kicking off with the punter, they need to kick off with their foot, not their shin. Like I said, if it affects, I don't really care. I understand the idea of it, but if you're going to say true to the game of Backbreaker, fix those little things. These are just things that enhance the gameplay. Okay. Also, I noticed when you catch the ball in the end zone, as far as a punt return, or sometimes even a kick return, if you stay in the middle of the end zone, sometimes the computer doesn't recognize that you need to catch the ball, even if you put it on focus. It kind of like a dumb moment. I've recorded that before, but if y'all could fix that, that'd be great. Also, the other physical things about the game. As far as like I said, there are things in Backbreaker that's already implemented. Y'all just need to put in other aspects of the game. If the accelerating, decelerating, you already have that as far as when you're the player, you're the user. When you're using focus and you're running faster. You can actually see the change when you replay it. But if you could implement that in the computer, like the computer where you could see that he's focusing and he's actually accelerating. Y'all have accelerating and decelerating, but you can implement that for the computer side. Also, looking at the helmets. It's great when a blocker comes and he takes care of you because you're the threat. But y'all need to have it to where the helmet, or even sometimes with the catching, where the helmet or the torso turns a little bit and sees you, and then as he's running over, blocks you or catches the ball. If y'all can implement the helmet interactions as far as the helmet to the player or to the ball, that would be excellent too. When it's done right, it's perfect. But it needs to be implemented a little bit more as far as blocking sometimes. Also, another physical aspect of the game, pump fakes. Pump fakes need to be to where they don't jump off of the ball. Pre-patch, it was a lot better because the interaction as far as the person falling for the fake was a lot better than when after the patch came out. So if y'all could take that out of the game, because I actually stopped pump faking on my games to make it more a little more harder. If y'all make it to where they don't fall for the pump fake as much, and especially take out the jumping thing. I understand the linemen, but the linebackers and the cornerbacks and the safety, basically defensive backs, don't need to jump up every single time you're about to pump fake the ball. Like they know you're about to do it. Like I said, when it's done right, it's done right. When it's done wrong, it's terrible. Like I said, I have to be honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Okay, another thing, AI. Y'all need to implement a backbreaker mode that's more human. Either that or make it to where one of the things that will make the AI a little bit harder is definitely different plays. And sometimes you know where they're about to throw. Now, if you use the same plays and tweak the AI to where the computer either pump fakes the ball, or surprises you more than often, then that would be great too. But if they could definitely have it to where they have different playbooks, man, the game will be off the hook. It'll be off the chain. It'll be even harder than it is before. Especially if you take out the whole pump fake thing, the game will be definitely harder. But definitely better, more playbooks. If y'all have a backbreaker mode where where they think definitely more human, to where they don't fall for the same play sometimes. I mean, not all the time you can do that, depending on what team you're playing. But if y'all can implement that, would be great too. Another thing, passing interference. A lot of times I understand the aspect of the cornerback killing you when you're trying to catch the ball and you drop the ball, but sometimes it's pass interference, and y'all need to either time it right or build the awareness of the cornerback, especially as far as y'all definitely need to implement a little more batting down the pass animations. If y'all can do that, that would be another great thing. Because sometimes the cornerback watch you catch the ball, then they tackle you and the ball falls out. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes they have time to either intercept the ball or just back down the ball. I understand interaction. If they make the interaction to where you could see him actually batting down the ball over the wide receiver or across the receiver, that would be tight if y'all can implement that. I know y'all could already do this because I've seen it in the game. But as far as going over the defender or past the defender to block the ball, that would be tight. I think that's about it. Anything that needs to be added, as long as you don't mess with the gameplay the way Backbreaker originally is great. I don't care about presentation. I don't need glitz and glamour like in EA. I don't need that, and the gameplay sucks. I don't need that. I need it to where Backbreaker, it has an unscripted gameplay that it has now, but just make it more evolved and more enhanced as far as the way players interact with each other. When the blocking and stuff is done right, that's great, but y'all just need to tweak those a little bit. Once y'all do that and do almost everything on this list, the game will be, I believe it's the best game, the best football game that's out, period. But the gameplay will be enhanced 1,000 times if y'all just implement those in the game a little bit more. Like I said, true to the game of Backbreaker. I can say that. I can say that because they're true to the game, and they show you that. That's why I keep on having the things play in the background. I don't have a computer right now, but when I do, I'll be able to implement. I'll be able to show you what I'm talking about. But I think that's about it. I love Backbreaker for I already told y'all why I love it, but keep the unscripted gameplay and the way Backbreaker plays now, and it'll be excellent. Matter of fact, another thing, the camera angle, don't change it. Leave it exactly the way it is. If you don't like Backbreaker for the camera angle, then keep on playing your arcadey 2K. Nothing against 2K because I like 2K better than Madden, like I said in my last video. But like I said, in real football, you have restrictions on your view, and don't add God mode. Y'all need to keep the camera angle exactly the way it is. If anything y'all don't do, y'all don't play anything else, definitely the ball physics and the blocking on the run. I don't care about using the right-handed quarterback every single time. I don't care about that. Like I said, if it doesn't mess with gameplay, once the gameplay is 100% or damn near 100%, you can worry about the cheerleaders, the crowd, the stadiums, everything else. I forget what stadium I'm playing in. I forget that the players are even taller or shorter or the height difference. I don't care about none of that because the gameplay, the way Backbreaker is unscripted, and I don't get that in other football games. So if the gameplay stays the way it is, and once y'all get it to where it's almost 100%. Oh, another thing I forgot. This is another thing I forgot. When the ball is fumbled, that's something I needed to add. I forgot to add. When somebody fumbles the ball and the player falls down in front of it, the interaction between the player will watch the ball fall down, and he's looking right at it. Y'all need to implement where either a stiff arm or a button to where he'll actually reach out and try to grab the ball. That'll be excellent too. Like I said, if you can't add it now, add it later. It's fine. It's really no big deal. I love the game the way it is. But like I said, anything. Once you do the gameplay part, care about all the 3D graphs you want, all the facial hair, tattoos, the faces of the players, everything. The visor can stay on the people because I don't care about how the person looks. I forget all about that. Matter of fact, when I used to play 2K, I used to purposely pick a team. Well, my team's San Francisco. I used to pick San Francisco 49ers and actually take out everybody because I didn't care about their stats, about what they do. I wanted, me personally, to pick the players that I wanted to pick. So, and I know what they can and can't do. That's what I liked about the fact of trading my players because like I said, I don't care about NFL license. I don't care about anything like that. Anything that has to do with the NFL. As long as I know I can play football the way Backbreaker shows it to be, I don't care about nothing else. Once y'all do, like I said, once y'all do the gameplay to where it's almost 100%, then care about all the sidelines, the height differences, the weight differences, and stuff like that. And then y'all can be true to that part of the game. But be true to the game for Backbreaker right now. But Backbreaker Brothers, holla.